What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Grimlock. Well, what's a Warrior Class, you might ask? Warrior Class is the new Deluxe class. Hasbro decided to rename it. I don't care for it. I prefer Deluxe. That's just me. What we have here is Grimlock. Now, you might already remember that, or you might remember that I have already reviewed the 3-step change Grimlock. This is the Warrior Class version. This figure possesses a lot more posability, a little bit better paint apps, and just an overall better figure, in my opinion. Unlike the giant 3-step change, the Autobot symbol is right here on the right pectoral of his chest. Overall, the figure is very, very nicely detailed for a size, or for a figure of the size class. It's not perfect. I would like to see a little bit more paint apps in certain spots, but overall, I'm rather pleased with it. 360 view shows you that it is a well-proportioned figure, and it does have the telltale Grimlock head on the back. Posability-wise, he does not have much in the way of head posability. Shoulders are on swivels and hinges. There are swivels above the elbows, and the elbows do ratchet. Hands do not rotate due to the transformation. There's no torso articulation. Hips are on a series of hinges, and then swivel underneath that, and his knee joint does bend. The rest of the figure, well, I should say, the figure itself does have a little bit of a gimmick in this mode. It really doesn't show it in the directions, but you could swing the dino arms forward to give him super hug action. Okay, I made that up, but I still think it's pretty funny. It's nice that you could, you're rough and tough and you're in an arm lock with somebody, and then you could just start punching them in the gut. I do appreciate that little bit. This guy is really nice. I like this figure a lot. You can't pose him all that dynamically, but you can get some poses out of him, which are pretty neat. Like something like this is pretty cool, and it's just a neat figure. I understand why people don't like the color scheme of this Grimlock figure, but I love this figure. I think it's just really nice, and it's really refreshing to get a different take on Grimlock. Now, a lot of folks who've watched my original 3-step change Grimlock video review called him not Grimlock. Well, I have used the phrase from Godzilla fans for the American Godzilla from '98 as Grimlock in name only, or Gino. I think that works pretty well. Just to let you guys know, Hasbro did come up with a little bit of an idea here. You see the end of his tail is inside his left leg. Well, inside the right leg, they molded the same thing on the inside of the other leg. Just a little bit of a detail that I find really, really nice. Just a quick size comparison for you guys. I was going to grab Springer, but I couldn't get him out without knocking over all the other figures. I realize there's a lot of green going on, but as you can see, Grimlock is roughly the same size as the current generation's Deluxe class figures, while he's half the size of the 3-in-1, which is the same size as a Voyager Generations figure. Grimlock's transformation is, in all honesty, I find a whole lot of fun. To start off with, make sure that the arms are straight, and then kind of put them out to the side, and fold the hands up into the forearms. And then you want to turn the forearms completely around so that the hands are pointing towards the outside of the figure. Next up, we are going to take the dino head and just flip it on top of his robot head, like that. Then come down to the legs and spread the legs open, and kind of push the back inside of the legs to pop these sections, or these outside sections of the legs, off, and reach inside the left leg and flip out his tail, and then bring the legs together and snap them together, and then turn the figure around and push the dino arms forward, and those leg sections that are now flopping, flip them up along the back of the figure, and then push them together to snap together, and then his hips will fold up into the back of the figure, and then push his robot feet down. Now, what you end up with is actually Well, we're not done the transformation, obviously, but I wanted to show this little kind of monster mode that I came up with that I think is pretty cool. So you've got kind of like this Dungeons and Dragons Werven mode where you've got these giant claws on his shoulders and then his normal hands down here. It doesn't really stand up all that well, but I think it's cool. Kind of like I don't know, maybe a Naga, a super robot Naga monster. Anyway, returning the figure back to where it was. Next, grab the shoulders and split them from the figure, pull them apart from the figure, and they will double hinge down to where the dino legs should be. Peg them in, rotate the legs down, and here we have Godzilla, I mean Grimlock in dinosaur mode. I love this dinosaur mode. I realize a lot of people aren't going to like it because of what we've had Grimlock being in the past couple of years, but I think this is perfect. I think this is a nice addition, or I should say transition, from what we've known Grimlock as to something just cooler. Now, I'm sure my good friend Cheetamus is going to be repainting this figure into a more G1 accurate mold, but the green and black with silver and gold works really well. I'm just smitten with this figure. He does have a biting gimmick where you push forward on this little horn in the back and his mouth opens. And I'm not sure what else I could show you other than that this is about it. It's very traditional or very retro with a new style, if that makes any sense. Because you could see the influences of the G1 Grimlock here very easily, but it's updated. His tail is still dragging, his arms are bigger and they're still silver, his head is gigantic compared to the rest of the body, and he's full of happy teeth. It's just a well-done figure, and of the 4 deluxe figures that came out for RID so far, this is by far my favorite. I love this guy. He is so much fun. Now, I know in the past couple of years we've really had trouble with Hasbro and paint apps, but this is really well done here. His paint apps on his head are really well done. Yes, there is just a little bit of extra paint there on his muzzle, but I'm okay with that. I think that this figure looks great and is painted just about perfectly. And here are the 2 Grimlock siblings together. We've got the Warrior class and the 3-step change. As you can see, both of them are painted pretty much the same. There are little differences here and there, but I think the deluxe class wins. One thing you guys really should be aware of is that my figure just kind of broke a little bit on me. The elbows here are ratchet joints, so you hear that? When I went to transform him out of Dino mode, I pushed the arm down a little bit, and I don't know how well you could see that, but you see the plastic is already flexed right there and has distorted, and this little gray piece shot out, which I'm assuming this is the ratcheting gimmick. So now his arm is completely limp. So I don't know why that happened. I'm probably going to have to get a new figure, but just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I can probably fix this, maybe, but it's not going to be really all that easy, in all honesty, because that plastic is pretty well bent. So, yeah, just be wary of that. Even with the slight break on his right arm, I like this figure a lot. I will be getting another one, just hopefully that doesn't have a broken right arm. But it's a really fun figure that I recommend wholeheartedly. I really like the design, and overall, I think the aesthetic for Grimlock is really good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video review of Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Warrior Class Grimlock. As always, I am Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.